Hey folks, Wish SE up here in New Hampshire. How you doing? I've been asked today to do a bit of explanation of how you learn to shoot with both eyes open. What we're going to do is we're going to give you a tool that I use with my students that seems to help. If I asked you right now and sitting at your computer where you are to put your hand out in front of you and simply look at your hand. You don't close one eye to do that. If I say now with your index finger, hold it up and look at your nail of your index finger, so the fingernail on your index finger. I'm not closing one eye to do that. If I say take the pen, stick that out in front of me, I'm not having to close both eyes to see that pen. So with a smaller object, sometimes if we squint a little bit, we think we can see it better. So in this case, what I have is a ballpoint pen. I'm holding the pen out at arm's length, and I'm simply looking at the tip of the pen. No problem. Both eyes are open. This is the exact same thing that we do with a sight on a handgun, or in this case, sight and red dot. I'm putting that out, both eyes open, and I'm looking at that focal point. So what happens, and the reason for some people this is difficult, is if we have a target out front, it's going back and forth between the target and trying to be so precise and thinking that we have to see every minute detail on that front sight. The reality is we don't. We simply have to see the alignment between the front sight and the rear sight, make sure they're on the same plane, and then press our shot without disturbing that sight picture. So here's the simple drill. Start by looking at your hand, both eyes open. You can do it this way, that way, or whatever. You can hold up a coffee mug, both eyes open. Then go to a smaller object. In this case, we have a ballpoint pen. Look at the tip of the pen. So hold it up against an object that is distant, in this case an IDPA target. I'm looking down and I'm looking just at the tip of the pen. I can still see my target in the distance, but my focal point is here. Now if you're seeing some sort of crossing or two pens maybe, what you can do is squint your non-dominant eye, so your left eye, if you're right eye dominant, just squint it a little bit, or even blink it. Just do a solid blink and let it back open as you've had your focal point tool out there. That's all there is to it. So this is not something, if you've spent years with one eye closed working on the front sight, you won't be able to unlearn that like that. But over a period of time and doing this practicing, you will begin to train yourself that it's no problem. Guys that shoot clays do not close their eye, because what they're doing is they're watching the bird as they move the shotgun, and they're keeping the shotgun moving. For some reason, we as pistol shooters or as rifle shooters feel that we have to close that eye to see the front sight. The reality is, with a little bit of training and practicing this on a daily basis for some, couple of weeks, you'll be able to unlearn that. And that doesn't mean you can't close your eye if you have to really get the precision. If you really want a focal point, that's okay. What I've found is I shoot better, faster, and more accurately with both eyes open, and that's because I'm allowing more light to come in. The next point that's really important to consider is in a tactical situation, if there are bad guys around, or if I couldn't get away from a situation and I have to go to my sidearm to defend my life or my family's life, I want to see what's going around. If I'm closing one eye, I may not have the peripheral vision on this side to see what's going on, and I'm not letting as much light in or as much information in as I'd like to have, particularly in low light conditions. Both eyes open is the way to do it. It will make you a faster, more effective shot. So I encourage you to practice. Remember, start, big object out in front of you, right? You can even set up a target, as I have down here, where I've got my target up. I'm simply looking down the target. I'm seeing my hand, which is in total focus. I'm then holding my index finger over the center of that target, focusing in on the nail of my finger. And if I start to see a blur or two objects, all I have to do is squint one eye briefly, and then it will open back up and they'll come back together. And then the next step, of course, is using a pen and getting that pen down there. And then finally, we transition to our gun and make sure that that's all working. And what you'll find is that if you work through that sequence a while, you'll be able to develop this relatively quickly. dozens and dozens and dozens of people that I've showed this technique of the pen, the hand to the pen to the front sight, have told me they've learned to shoot both eyes open. So it's a training issue, not a physical issue that you can't overcome. So I encourage you to go out and try it. Thanks to, oh gosh, there's got to be 24 subscribers over the last year who have asked me to say, what do I do if I want to learn to shoot both eyes open? Well, you practice this technique till it becomes part of what you do every day. So I want to thank all of you for watching. Finally, and as always, stay safe.